Okay, I'm going now. I'm
Go.
ready. I'm prepared. I've read through my whole 2 pages of notes. So yeah,
You can
we
read.
as a party. Yes, I read.
Oh, that's very nice.
This is going so good.
We as a party have made it out of the undergroundness for 4 days. Yes. Okay, so we have come back from underground, and we went to the Brynheld Sanctuary, which is Roswell's order. And yes, that's where we saw this lady. She was having a seizure, and her eyes went white, and she had this worm coming out of her eye, and we caught it, and we tried to do some experiments with it, and nothing happened. So yeah, there was that. And then so from there we just did some little loose end tidying up speed session stuff that wasn't that speedy, but it happened. So
like the kind of stuff you could just skip over in a recap.
But no, Marius, he went back to the Unity Temple to be with his thing, and he went to Sir Ivo, and he apologized to him and stuff. And then me and Roswell, we did legend lore. We found out about the staff of the elders, and I saw images of rocks of fire crushing armies of stuff and ice creatures. That doesn't really make sense. And then earthquakes and people falling into the earth, and then waves of water, and it was all crazy. And then a portal that ripped into the material plane, and this is going to be bad because elemental creatures are going through the portal into our plane.
From the mouths of babes.
That's right. And Roswell, she had a conversation with her father, but hasn't told anyone except for her sister, that I don't remember her name right now. And she spent some time with her and had a long conversation and a good time. And yeah, and then Kendra, without anyone knowing, is trying to make amends with Sir Ivo as well.
What do you mean trying? We're best
She
buds
is
right
making amends. She is doing very, very well, and we are very proud of her, even though we don't.
Or we would be proud of her.
We would be.
You're not allowed to be proud. That would be metagaming.
Yeah, she did this behind our backs, and will never tell us, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. You'll never know.
So, and then I tried to go to the library. Guess what? Karut took all the damn books.
Not all of them, just the ones we want.
All the ones that I wanted.
It ruined your experience.
Jesus Christ.
Cool, great, love it.
And then Tevrin went shopping, and it was amazing. It was
Everybody had these great character moments, and Tevrin went shopping.
Well, it was great. It was at this finding finer things, and he was going shopping for some magic sunglasses, which he did not get.
Yeah, guess what I'm doing if we survive this worm?
Okay.
I have regrets.
So that went on to the big day, Bodrin's March, where we saw Oberyn fight, and he won. And then on his second fight, 2 worms came out of the ground, and now we're in mid-fight. Bam, I did it.
Well, that really brought me back. All right.
I'm glad.
So. This is worm fighting music. All right. As we return back amidst the combat, remember you successfully banish one of the purple worms, probably to the survival of many of your party members, and within less than a minute have managed to slay the first of the 2 purple worms as Oberyn struck the killing blow on it, freeing Tebrin from what would otherwise be certain digestion. You all now stand and wait for several more seconds until the next worm returns from its banishment. You've all declared your actions, which are now hidden by 100 d20 rolls. Oh, wait, no,
Nope,
there
I
they
put
are.
it down. I copy and pasted it. There you go.
Excellent. They're not hidden by that.
Now I can
So,
roll 100 d20s.
In the center of this large arena, now mostly vacated as the crowds have headed out, a ballista is brought in from both ends. Various guards and archers around have kind of taken up tactical positions in wait as they see all of you readying your actions. And there's just a moment of calm. Is it coming back?
Yes.
And then Kendra dispels it as everyone is ready. This will trigger all of the held actions as Numerius immediately beside you, this huge worm covered in spikes, purple in color, opens its gaping maw in your direction. Let me see some wonderful actions. I know one thing that I did as a held action is open all of the character sheets. That's my held action.
Is our rule that held actions are only a single attack, or do I get both of my attacks?
Held action is only a single attack.
Okay, I too quickly got excited and rolled.
Okay, so who's doing what as I open things?
So
Let's
do it
go,
in order.
Let's go in order, yes, please.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I know, it's exciting.
It was.
My cat releases held actions all of the time.
Okay, so
It's always holding the urinate action, by the way.
that's for whenever you're not looking.
Whenever I'm not looking, it triggers the action. I feel like that's not something that's relevant to our game.
So I am casting Everard's, Evard's,
Black
Vardio's
tentacles
Black
of
Tentacles.
tentacle allies centered in the center of the worm. I do
Yes, there you
recall.
go. Yes.
All right, squirming ebony tentacles fill a 20-foot square on the ground that you can see within range. For the duration, these tentacles turn the ground in the area into difficult terrain. When a creature enters the affected area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn down there, the creature must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 3d6 bludgeoning damage. Be restrained by the tentacles. So, Kindra, channeling the inner hentai enthusiast, has conjured
It's art.
conjured some images of tentacles grasping worms. So we will see how that plays out at the start of its turn. No, Marius, what was your held action? All right. You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a worm. Ciora does not have anything. Oh, no, she does have something. She just wasn't quite close enough. She is going to use her penultimate spell slot to cast Bane upon the worm.
Timur, weren't you going to attack because you get your turn before the worm anyway? Because if you read the thing, it says from Numerous change action Warhammer attack.
Wait, where is
Kindred, fabled Warhammer wielder.
Oh.
Fuck.
the worm succeeds on its charisma saving throw with a natural
Holy
20.
moly.
Wait,
Despite
hold on.
having
The worm
Hold on,
comes
hold
up
on.
with glistening hair.
Wait, is a natural 20 an always succeed on a
no,
No?
only on attacks is natural 20 always hit.
Hold on one moment.
It's a 17, which is still higher than Ciora's.
Yes.
Um,
Oh wait, sorry. That's her one. Yeah. That's okay. Sorry.
you good?
Yes,
Are
we're
you
good.
all right? So, Numerius, you're attacking and muted. Feel free to attack.
Yeah,
Not
he's not
muted.
muted.
Not muted.
Promise.
He's not muted.
I don't believe any of you.
He's not muted.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I can't hear him at all.
Really weird.
Well, I guess we just don't have Nemarius. All right, moving right along.
No, don't do that.
How to fix it then?
All right.
Perfect. Do that all session.
Can this stream? Yeah, the stream can't. I mean, I guess that makes sense. But why
Have
can't
you-
I hear you?
Have you muted him?
It's quite possible. He's muted now. He's unmuted. Why can't I hear him? I hear everything else, and I hear Zoom, so that doesn't make any sense why I can't hear one of you.
Yeah.
Is the
That's
is the audio getting lost on its way to the stream?
for one person.
I don't know what I just did, but I screwed everything up. Can now control his camera, though.
This is good.
What the hell happened?
Killer review. I don't understand why we can't hear you.
Huh? He rolled his attack and he wants to know 22 hits.
I can't
Perfect.
hear you. You must verbally declare your actions. 22 does hit.
22 does hit. Wait, you
Can we
hear her.
fix the hearing thing? Stream can't hear you either.
Should I or shouldn't I tell her? Oh God, he's doing something that will make you disapproved.
All right.
Disapproving you what
I
I'm
need
approving.
all of you to leave and then rejoin back in the right order. Just
Order is
leave
that?
the video.
Okay, so the test is
That works. I can hear you now.
Okay, now we all have to leave.
And then just leave your video. You don't have to leave the call. All right.
Okay, now me.
Yeah.
I'm so zoomed in. Why am I
Cookie?
so zoomed in?
Dora?
Oh yeah, I was.
Okay, Beth.
Bethany.
Yes!
go.
Yes!
Hey!
did it.
still
I will
can't hear him.
continue to mime for the rest of the game,
I-
though.
I do hear you. 22 will hit. Thanks for asking. 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
That's all I got.
That is all you got.
I've been using all my stuff. I do have some superiority dice left.
Roswell.
I did Blight and I rolled a 33. It needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Are you casting at a higher level, or is it just the,
I cast
33?
it
Yeah,
at-
okay.
At higher level, yep.
Above all
Constitution.
the words.
All right, has a plus 11 to Constitution saves. So that's a 22. Does that beat your DC?
Yes.
So it takes
Oh,
half of that damage.
yes.
All right, so half of 33 is 16.
Yes.
All right, not quite as potent as you had hoped, but
Nope.
still does a little bit of damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right, two of
what?
the bows, two of the archers hit, or
Not
are,
at
able
us.
are
This is
able
great.
to penetrate the armor, and they do another 10 points, 14 points of damage. All right. You do, over your shoulder, Numerous, you do see a ballista firing a bolt that has been lit on fire at the purple.
Okay,
worm.
if they roll a 1, though, I'm going to be very upset.
All right. And 17 will not manage to puncture. It just slams into the hide, but doesn't quite get through, as you can hear like them reloading it. Back behind Kira and Tebrin, what have you got for me?
I already rolled. I was also a little bit trigger happy. I had a 19 at disadvantage.
19 at disadvantage will hit.
Minimal.
Beastly damage. This is with your bow.
Yeah.
What, you don't want to stand next to it?
Well,
I take that as a no. And Akira, your triggered action.
I did not have a triggered action.
Alright, then. We'll just keep on going. Alright, so we're now back in rounds. Kendra, you are...
It is not my turn, because my turn was to cancel the cast, or the...
Okay, so it is Nomarius's turn.
Okay, so Nomarius will attack with his full attack. Nope. Actually, Nomarius is going to take the dodge action for his full attack round.
Alright.
As I'm the only one who should be able to smush and eat upon, although Akira is awfully close. As I glare over to Clara, what are you doing? And yeah, that's my turn.
Alright. This creature is no longer banished. Welcome back.
Chat wants you to show the roll stuff. / BattleNet.
BattleNet.
Yeah.
Battle map.
See? Holly heard me.
Yeah, that works. It works. There you go. Okay. Ciora
How'd you do that?
I'm doing... That's my whole screen. So that's literally what my screen looks like.
Oh, I see what you've done.
Yes, I see what you've done. All right. Ciora doesn't have anything to do, but she will 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, no. She used her bonus action to summon her reflection within 30 feet, which is thereabouts, I think. Oh, I'm good. When I'm good, I'm good. I'm always good. And it is going to use its movement to get there, and she will make a rapier attack.
Bravo!
And just
Bravo!
just glances it off, and it is now the purple worm's turn. All right.
I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw first up.
A dexterity saving throw. It is not the most dexterous. 13.
It does not make it.
All
which
right.
means
Full hentai action.
kaboom.
13 points.
And it is restrained.
All right. 13 points, and it is currently restrained. What does it do to end the restrained condition?
Strength saving throw or dex saving throw
Mm-hmm.
as a standard action.
Alright. Otherwise, its attacks are at disadvantage. Sort of.
And advantage on attacks on it as well.
Right. It kind of like thrashes about the tentacles every time it tries to like just reposition. They kind of like grab up and pull down on it, seeming to have a decent effect. It is going to make a tail stinger attack on you, Nomarius.
Aha! Thank God, because Ciora is like sharing hit points with the person next to him.
All right, so tail stinger coming down to you. Does a 29 hit you at disadvantage?
I feel like I'm gonna have to spend my last of my 3 lucky points and make them re-roll this instead.
Does the reroll have disadvantage? Oh my.
No.
Now, let me read my lucky feat because,
I think I have to use that
'Cause-
roll.
and then choose. Okay.
Oh, and then choose. Okay. Yeah.
Third-
you're fine.
Okay. I choose for them not to crit me.
No, it's fine. You can have the 29.
Jesus Christ. That's I'm gonna rename this fate to unlucky.
All right. So, doing your best doesn't quite do it, and you will take the full brunt of damage from the tail stinger.
Wait, what is that?
What?
It's 22
No, that's-
points of
that's
piercing
the-
damage and 46
the-
poison damage.
No, that's wrong. That's 12d6. 66 was what we changed it to last time, right?
Yeah, and I changed the stat block back.
Wait, really?
This one
Oh.
hasn't used it yet.
But hold on.
So, but you make a save. You make a
68.
save against the 46. So I need
Okay.
you to make a DC. Where's the DC? Con
I
save.
like the music in your voice. Go on. Con?
Con save. Yes. You're
Oh, look.
not successful on the Constitution save. Which is
So
20.
I will adjust my hit points by 68.
All right. Numerius down as the stinger just whips around, just punctures in. And it will now take an attack on Siora. At disadvantage.
Oh, put it back.
What is her armor class? And she just barely manages to dive out of the way as
Die.
just
Ah.
gets
Oh, man.
a mouthful of the ground sort of in between where Nomarius and Siora are, not taking a hit there. Roswell, you just see the sort of stinger at the tail end just pierce through Numerius's side, come out the other side, and then sort of pull back, and you can see all this ichor, purple, milky, whitish in color, just sort of dripping, like pouring out of him, the poison.
Yeah. I'm gonna healing word him at. Yeah, you do have worms now, man. Let's do fourth level, right? So you're going to be up for 20 points. And I'm also going to do my spiritual weapon that's still there.
It's no rolls. 20 points.
20 points.
Yeah,
You're at
because
0.
unconscious.
This attack has advantage.
Okay.
22 will hit. 22 will hit. Some spiritual weapon damage. 12 points of force damage.
Yep.
Slashing away at it.
And I am just going to move slightly over here. Okay. And that's my turn.
All right, Akira, you are up.
All right, Akira would like to step here and cast Spirit Guardians.
All right, which is an aura.
Yes,
20 feet?
I am doing it right now.
20 feet aura? I don't think it does anything until its turn.
Yeah, I just wanted the description right here. 15 feet.
15 feet. Everybody can see that, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And of course, Ciara and Roswell and Debarius and all the party members that are to come into it are not affected.
All right. So that'll be wisdom saves once
Yes.
its
Okay.
turn comes back up again.
And then, as much as I can do, what my plan is to drag Numerius out of there.
Okay. So you've run in.
Mm-hmm.
How much movement did you use to get there?
Oh, where's that special button that you do?
It's called X.
X. 20 feet. Is what I use, so I have 10 left.
All right, so you can.
Sorry.
Unless he's resisting, you can drag him 5 feet. So.
Okay. Move with me. Don't resist.
I look up at you quizzically. What are you doing?
You've just been gouged.
Roswell saved me. I'm fine.
All right.
Jesus, Scratch.
All right, word of
Tevrin.
warning: the last person that tried to grapple with Jameer, their character died.
What happened?
All
Sorry.
right.
They tried to pull Jameer's character away. They got killed.
Well, Akira does not know this.
Tevrin, you see Demarius go down as Akira rushes to pull him back. Siora diving out of the way as the maw tries to come down on top of it. What would you like to do?
I am going to take a hint from Siora, and I am also going to cast Bane on it
All right.
at first level.
That is a -2 on its saving throw.
Consider it baned.
Does Bane stack?
No.
There
she
was no
she
bane on
wasn't
it.
successful.
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't
It
work.
crit.
All
It
right.
crit last time. Why do I have that symbol on me? I'm no longer restrained. Does anybody remember what the other one means?
Blinded. You're
Okay.
no longer blinded.
I am not that either. I am, however, concentrating.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Just
that
how I
was
laugh,
in
man.
a leveled spell.
I know, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Auburn's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he's gonna use dash to get up into melee with it as the Habbles are going to town. Kendra, you're up.
I'm going to cast Scorching Ray.
Is your target the worm?
Yes.
Checking. I mean, it is Kendra. All right.
That's the first one.
First one misses. Second one hits.
So that's the first ray, because all of these have advantage.
Okay, so the first one hits.
Because
Can
why?
you just roll at advantage? Yeah, there you go.
Because restrained, yeah.
26
I just forgot that.
hits, 2 hits, and
Two.
that one does not hit. 2 hits with the Scorching Ray. 15 fire damage. Is that what I'm reading?
That is correct.
All right.
And Wildo Magico.
All right. And do you have Wild Surge active, or whatever it is?
Pretty
Tides of
sure
Chaos?
we used it. No, actually, I do have it active. Because I used a cantrip on the turn beforehand. Because, yeah, I do have it active.
Well, as one of the Scorching Rays leaves your hand, you feel the magic sort of get away from you. Let's go ahead and see what we have to see on the...
Fireball myself. Okay, let's see.
God, I always want to look.
You're not allowed to.
I know.
Oh, that's Warlock.
All right. Do you see it?
Okay.
Fair enough. You'll all find out and hate us later. All right.
Great. Thoroughly.
Does that end your turn?
Yes.
Great. All right. Siora is up. She is going to. What's she gonna do?
Was that her reflection that's real up close?
That is her reflection. That's up
Okay.
close. She is going to cast heroism on her brother at first level using the last of her spell slots. Oh, she'll move over through the spiritual weapon and back to do it. So he gains 3 temporary hit points and is immune to being frightened, etc., etc. I'll just add them to those. All right. And it is now the purple worm's turn. It is
Oh! Spirit Guardians.
Spirit Guardian.
And tentacles.
And tentacles.
All right. It's an 11 on the wisdom save, which I'm guessing is a fail.
Do I just click?
Here's a.
Yes, because it'll
just
roll the damage.
Roll the damage. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it just takes the damage for this one.
Does it make a
Do I
save or it
read?
just takes the damage?
It just takes the damage.
Okay.
Do I re-roll it or just you take the one that I already rolled?
Just reroll.
$13.
All right, 13. And what was yours, Beth? 10, so 23
10.
total. All right, starting to look a bit rough. It is going to sort of spin around, seeing Oberon running in as a larger sort of threat, as Sierra hasn't really done anything to it. It is going to make a tail stinger attack at disadvantage with Bane against Oberon, so coming at him. 16, I believe, is his armor class. Where is Oberon? Why does his not show up? Alright, everyone can see the behind the scenes fun of being that. 16 is his armor class, but it has Bane, so why don't you go ahead and roll anything higher, or anything higher than 0.
Nicely
rolled
done.
a 0. Alright, so the stinger whips around and it just sort of slows the last second. He's able to dodge out of the way as it comes down for a bite attack against Siora, as there are no other targets also at disadvantage. And Baned, that is a 21, so give me a Bane roll
I
here.
don't think this is
Who's
good.
this attacking?
Siora.
Okay.
So it's a 19, so that
Hold on.
will hit.
Do we know Sierra's armor? She's in studded leather, right? What armor is she in?
She's in
Studded leather.
studded leather.
Studded leather. So that's like, can I affect this with band lock? I can get it
That
to
19.
I can get it to 15. Is that enough?
I'm at 15 with studded leather right now and a shield.
So probably not.
Do you
Okay.
have any dexterity though?
That's a great question. I have +1.
You know, let's try it anyway. Like, hopefully it won't matter. Bend and luck. So 1d4. I have to get a 4 though. 3.
3, so it's -5 to the original roll. It's 17. Her AC is 16, so unfortunately
Oh.
does not connect, and the bite will trigger. So she takes 26 points of piercing damage, and down she goes.
Oh, doesn't she need to make a dex save?
Or
is she unconscious?
She is not unconscious, luckily enough. So that does mean dex save, correct? She needs a 19. And she manages to not be sucked down. So she is injured pretty severely, but not down. Roswell, you are up.
All right. I am going to bless Numerius, Akira, And
What happened to Nemarius' turn?
oh yeah. Oh, he's not dead.
Why is he not on the turn order?
I don't know.
That's a great question.
I was not.
Why do you have so many problems?
I
God.
don't know. I have problems.
God.
It all started when I was born.
You're
I had- Oh,
you're right after Kindra, so your initiative is somewhere between 10 and 19.
so how about I just roll one for giggles,
Oh, he was before the worm.
Yeah, he was out. He was right after Kindra.
and then you can adjust it number-wise to fit after Kindra.
Okay. So would you have gone in that spit? Yes, I think you would have, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll let you go now.
Okay.
We won't read
Then
that.
I will stand up, move forward, and attack the worm.
All right.
I'm gonna do a push attack after 22 hit last time.
22 will hit.
I cannot actually push it, but it does add 4 more points to it damage.
So that's 14 total.
Yep.
All
And then I will
right.
do the same thing exactly, hopefully. No, I will not. I will
12
tickle
will
it.
not. Just slams into its armored carapace.
I noticed there's a rock in it, so I just take the rock out because it was bothering me.
Yeah, it was bothering it too. It moves more freely.
It was in the tread of the tire. You understand the worm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And then that is my entire turn.
All right, Roswell, it is your turn
Okay.
now.
I am gonna change what I'm gonna do.
Since we didn't know what you were originally going to do.
I'm sorry, I thought I said it out loud, so that's why. All right, so I am gonna run up to Nemarius, tap him quickly, and cast Death Ward on him.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the first time the target would drop to 0 hit points as a result of taking damage, its target instead drops to 1 hit point, and the spell ends.
nice.
So I'm gonna run to him and then run back to where I was.
Drive by cleric.
Pretty much. I'm gonna like run in, be like, you got this, and then
All right. As you run back away from the worm, it is going to take an attack of opportunity on you with its tail stinger.
Oh, I didn't realize I got that close. Okay.
It
Oh, wait.
has reach.
Does it have reach?
It does.
Yeah, shit.
Well,
Yeah, so anywhere you can get within touch, it will be within reach of it.
okay.
So tail stinger at disadvantage coming at you and Bane. So 22 minus the Bane.
It's gonna hit.
Well, let's see what it is because other people have other things that they can do.
I cannot get it low enough with that.
20.
Funny.
All right, so it will do its tail stinger damage. I don't know why it's rolling for a crit there. So I need you to make a con save. It's just the 18 and the 41. I don't know why it rolled. a crit.
That's just the 18 and the 41. It's just
All right, so
Yeah,
that's 18 and 20, so you take 38 points of damage total.
Fair.
Not really, but
I know. I just something I tell myself just to make me
Alright.
feel better. Alright.
Kira, you are
How
up.
much was it again? 38.
Yes, 38 points of damage total. 20 of it is poison, if that's relevant in any way.
I have advantage against poison.
Well, then
you
your
save.
con save would have been an advantage.
Oh, okay. Well, can I roll that again?
You already
No, well,
passed,
it's-
so you don't really need to.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Can't-
DC is
Question
19.
of clarification.
Clarification.
Because yes, clarification, because I can't remember. If I cast a action spell, can I cast a bonus action spell that is not a cantrip?
No.
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just wanted to double check.
Oh shit! My turn's gone. Never mind. I forgot about spiritual weapon, but it's okay.
You can go ahead and roll spirit.
Is it still my turn?
Do it.
She
I
hasn't
haven't
done, she
said
hasn't done
anything yet.
stuff
Okay, sorry. It's gonna be minor anyway, so.
Oh yeah.
Oh, maybe not.
Sorry, you can't roll it.
Just is Shu right? Tamir, do you have resistance to poison?
No, but I think she was talking about Roswell.
Oh, Roswell, do you have resistance to poison?
I have advantage against
The
poison.
advantage.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Or do I have?
What kind of dwarf are you?
Right. That's. Oh, advantage on saves and resistance against poison damage.
Huh.
I don't say
So is
these
it
things for
half?
my own posterity. So the 10 points would half, so you can add 10 more points back if you're resistant to poison, right?
I am. Okay. All right.
Because
So
you're a mountain dwarf, right?
correct. All right.
That is what I believe gives you it. And actually, the belt of dwarven kind might. Does that?
It's relevant. Let's go find out.
All right. Kier.
Okay. Akira would like to
Oh.
cast Beacon of Hope.
Bacon of Hope.
Did you see the
Yeah.
damage I rolled for the?
Yes, I got that.
Okay. All right.
All right. Beacon of Hope is.
Yes,
cast-
I will link it. Where's it at? There it is.
Spirit.
So,
Wait, this is a
Um,
concentration spell.
it sure is.
So you're
some
dropping.
Spirit Guardians will go down.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
Because
Just double
I have
checking to make sure you knew.
plan.
Okay. I trust you.
So, it bestows hope and vitality to all within 30 feet of me. So everyone except for
Yep.
Kendra. Blah 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 blah. Advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws, and you regain the maximum number of hit points possible from any healing. And
Cool.
I'm going to back the F up. 5, 10,
Range of 30 feet.
there.
Any number of targets within 30-foot range, so you can pick everybody. Okay.
Everybody.
Everybody. Yeah. Tavern's turn.
Okay, so it's restrained, which gives me advantage, which cancels out the disadvantage, so I'm back to normal.
All right, none of the archers managed to get anything done.
I am going to take a shot at the worm with my longbow when I can find where the fucking longbow is.
It's in your
I
hands,
can
Tebrin.
read.
22 will hit. You can
And
roll
I will
advantage.
add on some delicious sneak
Oh, no,
attack
no, you
damage
won't.
to that, finally.
This can be done.
So
What
19
is-
points from that one.
19.
And here comes the second one.
All right. It was almost a 1.
Yeah, I know.
And 9 more
9.
points. As
And then, sorry.
go ahead.
I was going to say, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word on Nemarius.
Full.
So
Full,
full
at second
okay.
level. So that would be
You do the math.
8
You're
plus your modifier.
3.
I got 3 points back.
11.
8
11.
plus 3.
11 total.
You guys need to
And
do the math. I'm old.
so as you loose 2 arrows, it kind of like roars back, catches it up in the mouth. And how do you want to do this?
Hell yes. I think he like steps around Akira a little bit to like line up the shot, and then it's just like closes his eyes for a second and then looses it.
All right. And then sort of under your breath, muttering the healing word, healing Nemarius, as it sort of catches the, like, sort of pokes up through the inner jaw. It bites down, but it forces the arrow back up through. The next arrow finds its way, catching it in the back of the throat. It just sort of thrashes around, the tentacles coming up, grabbing it, just pulling it down further and further and further, as it just sort of slams on the ground, just sort of coiling around, sort of all the way in between all of you as its body, like, lays out. Just ichor starting to drip from it as you're all sweaty, covered in dust. There's a huge cloud up here. And
No, some of us are covered in digestive acid.
Yes, that is true. So, what
I would like to,
do?
before it wears off, cast Mass Healing Word at 4th level on everybody after we gather, I assume. But yeah. Where's my thingy? Oh, I don't need to do it because it's full.
Yeah, you've done the thing.
So
You
that
need to do
is
the math. Again, I can't.
12 to all of you. No, at 4th level. What is 4th level? Let me just.
That's the one after 3rd.
So you're doing
but
healing
how many-
word. That's 16 plus your
Mass healing at 4th.
4th level is 16.
Okay.
Plus
thank
your
you. There you go.
modifier,
Plus 3.
19.
So that's 19.
All right. There's sort of this quiet, calm back behind everything as you all catch your breath. Two gaping holes to the underdark, just sort of burrowed, coming straight up. You can see these large circular tunnels, and you think back that you actually had seen these while you were underground previously. What would you all like to do?
I would like to try and extract some poison into a vial that I have from one of the worms.
All right. Let's make a survival check. All right.
12.
As you sort of look around the creature, you go in sort of back kind of into its mouth where you see there might be a gland and kind of start carving in, but you puncture the gland and the poison just sort of all spills out onto you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Sounds about right. Ooh, would my thing still count?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Beacon of Hope.
It was the stinger, not the mouth.
That's wisdom.
Oh, it's just a wisdom, isn't it?
Doesn't
Yep,
mean the
it sure
gland
is.
has to be in the stinger.
What did I roll?
Yes,
I
it
rolled
does.
a 12.
I'm not a purple wormologist. All right, so you take
I just play one on TV.
15 points of poison damage as you can just feel it scrapes and everything just kind of going in. Not poisoned, but just this wave of just sort of unease goes over as the stench of the creature just catches you.
Is there someone about that looks like a captain or a general?
There seems to be a ranking sort of official kind of giving directions as the guards and various sort of infantrymen have come in, standing just over by where the ballista is. Some of the men have kind of walked over and are kind of circling around, sort of spears drawn at the thing, just making sure it's not going to get back up.
I would like to walk up to the whoever looks like he's in charge and introduce myself.
He just sort of turns and looks at you. Well, Captain Whiteholm, we appreciate your help.
Yes, always glad to provide it. Do you know if there are any other sort of incursions of this kind anywhere else in the city?
None that I'm aware of at the moment. I think this was quite enough for one day.
No kidding. If there's anything that you need, any further help, we are staying at, what is the name of the abbey? Tevin would know it. I don't have it in my head.
The
Brynheld Sanctuary.
We're staying at the Brunheld Sanctuary, so you can colonists there.
If
If you
you're-
require any more assistance.
If you are sincere in your desire to help the Empire, I would strongly encourage you all to enlist, as we can always use talented combatants such as yourselves. Can personally guarantee officership.
Well, I think that we would have to talk that over amongst ourselves, but I'm very honored by the offer. Snap him a little bit of a bow. And turn back towards the rest of the party.
Does this mean we win Bertrand's March? Are we the winners?
Auburn just sort of staggers over. Nope. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't. We didn't defeat the other combatants. That's sort of the
Yes, we did.
main rule.
We,
No, you rescued him. I had him, but he got. Oh, he sort of like stumbles down to one knee.
I
He got
wanna,
away.
Don't you just like want to like sit down and feel better?
Oh,
I feel great. I'm still alive.
Just
by the way, everything that Kendra just said, she shouted at the top of her lungs. I wish it wasn't 2 in the morning so I could roleplay that properly. But she screamed every word.
For all the guards to
Not
hear?
not seemingly for anyone. She just screamed it.
Oh, okay.
Every single word.
Kendra,
Oh,
please,
oh,
please, my
oh.
head.
oh.
Are you very excited or something? You know,
I'm just talking normally, she says, screaming at the top of her lungs.
I'm glad to see that you're so excited about, defeating worms and stuff.
She nods at the top of her lungs.
This is great.
I mean, I thought it was quite thrilling, actually. You were inside one for quite some time there.
It was.
I knew you would get out. And she sort of pats Auburn on the shoulder. She's like, ah. Thanks. You cut Tebrin loose. That was good.
Yes, I seem to owe you a debt of gratitude.
Okay, so are we staying here?
I could go for a bite of food.
I could go for a bath.
Yeah. Although I think your skin's gonna look really good after this because it's almost like a chemical peel, right? Like you're gonna be.
Tebrin holds up one arm that is covered with horrible burns.
You're gonna look amazing.
I already look amazing, but thank you.
Well, like even more so. People are gonna be like, "What did you do?" And you're like, "Have you heard about worm acid?" It's gonna be.
Yes, I think that actually that's the way that you really get conversation moving at parties.
I know. I've learned so much from you.
I'm so glad that's what you've taken away.
Mm-hmm.
I could do with some food, maybe a drink. Halfway through that sentence that was shouted at the top of her lungs, her voice returns to normal volume. That was wild magic, by the way.
Wild magic, ladies and gentlemen.
So you want to go for a drink? Are you feeling all right?
Turning over a new leaf in alcoholism.
Everybody make a perception roll for me, please.
Well, that was very much 0 to 100.
12 is my magic number, apparently.
Yep.
Come on, Damaris, we're all riding on you. Oh, Come on, Siora, it's already got you.
No, I have advantage because of my shield, so 18.
Oh, you do? Oh, good.
So, as you're all talking, you see Numerius and Siora are just sort of looking around, and for both of you, you just sort of, as the creatures are kind of like flayed open and just sort of flopped down, and you can kind of like take a second to look around, you see like little sparkles from inside them, just like things catching the light.
It's gonna blow!
Yeah.
Actually, I will be like, I suppose, Kendra, magic.
She might need a little more help than just shouting magic at her.
I fireball the sparkling.
Come help figure it out.
I'm going to approach.
Also, clerics, just in case it might be divine. I don't know. Also, look,
What?
Kira, Roswell, Hebron, stand by.
Thanks.
It's
You
gross
cast spells, but I was like, right.
and sparkly. How does that work?
Sierra just sort of walks up and sort of just like looks into one of the kind of large gaping holes that was cut in this thing, and just sort of turns back and looks, and then looks back, and then like turns back at you, and then you see her just like stick her hand in, like up the wrist, and pull something out, and she kind of like shakes it off. Goo slathers on, and you can see she's holding in her hand what appears to be kind of like a fist-sized ruby.
Kendra, go away. This is more my style. This is more my. It's fine. Go back. Go drink.
I think they ate through the dragon's hoard to get here.
Excellent.
They did.
What dragon's horde you are talking about? Whatever could you be mentioning?
The guards are like, and then
Oh, I mean, like, wasn't that like a bar? The dragons? Okay.
Oh yes, that bar that we went to.
Yeah, it's pretty
It was
cool.
like an underground bar.
Yep. Okay, we don't need to talk about it anymore. Is there
Slip it to the bag holding. Do it now.
I try and casually go over because it's Siora that cut it out, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over as well to assist with this.
And just kind of hip check her with the bag.
Whichever worm that they're all focused on, I'm going to the other one.
Yeah. So as you come over, Roswell, and you kind of like hold up the bag, she's like, "Oh, thank you." She just like wipes her hands off on the outside of the bag.
Siora, not helpful.
No, it was clean. Oh, did you want them in the bag?
Yeah.
There's plenty to go around for everyone.
I'll help Novarius.
Let's divvy up later.
All right. So, as you all go through, give me two folks who are gonna kind of go through and try to find and pull out gemstones.
Not me.
So what kind of role, like, would this be survival? Like,
whatever skill you think is applicable.
well, if I'm cutting through a poisonous worm, I think survival might be.
We can do that.
Work. Okay.
I will cast something on Amaris before he does it, and that would be guidance.
Oh, I can do that to myself too, actually.
So, what skill would you like to use, Numerius?
I would like to use my perception to see what I
Alright.
can't see, because I need to see it in order to see it.
Fair enough. So, perception with guidance
And resistance.
Survival.
And I resist the perception. What?
What? I cast guidance and resistance on you. Don't resist the resistance. It's
Are
a
those?
D4.
Are those?
What? Are you casting
cantrips.
on me?
What's happening?
It's both of them are cantrips.
One's irrelevant.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
wait.
cast guidance on myself too.
All right. Let's
It's a
roll.
new cantrip. I keep forgetting to. Okay.
Here's my advantage perception, and here is the guidance on top.
All right. So
19 for me.
19 and a 26.
And I resist the urge to
Resist.
wonder why she cast resistance.
Yeah, that's right. Do that. You just ignore it.
All right, Roswell, you find 21. That's a pretty good roll. 21 assorted gems. There's sapphires, there's diamonds, there's emeralds. There's some other sort of lesser stones. You'd estimate that it's about 2150 gold piece value gems, all sort of said and done. And you can see some of them just sort of looking over. Some of them are kind of like embedded in chunks of rock. And you actually, looking through, you think that this might have been just things the creature like consumed, and it kind of just got embedded in it as it burrows through things. So it just kind of like cleans strip mines as it goes.
Was that 2,150?
It
Is
was
that what you said?
21.
50 pieces, 50 gold piece each.
Times 50 is going to be 1050. I am adding it to the party funds.
Okay, can I make a clarification because diamonds are very important to me? How many of them would be diamonds?
And do any of them seem to be 300 or 500?
Casey, realizing the significance of diamonds begins to change the notepad of gems to entirely sapphires.
You give me entirely too much credit. There is no notepad. 4 of them are diamonds.
Okay.
And when it says like X cost diamond, it doesn't have to be a solid diamond. You can have that many worth of diamonds.
I think the Raised Dead though does specify a diamond. I mean, I'm willing to clearly go with multiple.
I'm okay with not.
Okay. All right.
So what do those come to?
And Nomarius, you find 2d10 gemstones.
They're 50.
You want to roll that? You can roll.
Sure.
Okay.
Pretty good rolls. So 14 for you. Those are also 50 piece gold. And if you want to, we'll see how many are diamonds. 2.
All right. I will share them with the party.
As I assume you're putting these in the bag of holding, as it would be quite heavy otherwise to kind of carry them all around. As this is
I can juggle. It's fine.
It's like an armful of rocks, and as the guards kind of like see you doing this, some of them you can tell kind of like it's like reach in, like pull something out. Others of them just like give them these scornful looks, and there's like
That's fair game. That's fine.
yeah.
Probably don't make enough anyway.
We need to unionize.
Yes, that's right. Let's do it right now.
Okay. What are our feelings about me just transforming the gems to like straight to gold? Excluding the diamonds.
I was about to say.
Yeah, there are enough jewelers and sort of gemstone dealers in the city that if you kind of go through and do that, they will buy the precious gems off of you.
Okay, then I will do that.
At which point, I think Nomarius will take his leave and start heading back. He has a lot of armor to repair, fix, and actually just tell my entourage to do. And clean, and I gotta get the ichor off.
Yeah, and you do there's a pretty big like dent that needs to be hammered out that has kind of a
yes,
chunk
there's a gaping hole
from the stinger.
Want to meet at the bar later?
I suppose.
All right, see you later.
I have a question. When I got that sample off of the woman whose name is now escaping me, did I notice if it affected my dark vision?
It was
Astrea.
not dark.
Straight.
It hasn't been dark since you've used
Well,
it.
no, because it had to have been. Because I didn't have it now, which means that a night has passed.
Since when? Since
Since you got it applied? You
Yeah.
didn't notice any other effect other than it dimmed the sunlight.
Okay. Y'all, I'm taking some of this, our newfound wealth, and I'm gonna buy that fucking thing. Bye.
Y'all.
I'm going out of character, y'all.
We'll meet you at a bar that's we have not.
I'll find you.
In old times, it was ye all. Ye old and ye all.
What time of day is it?
Early evening.
Early evening. Okay.
As you guys kind of just bag of holding filled with gems sort of tucked away, kind of walk out. The area around the arena itself is fairly cleared out, but you can see like about a block away there's been like kind of a perimeter, and there's like lots of people like looking, and the guards just kind of like let you pass, and the people just like keep looking kind of like right by you.
Oh, so they don't even like kind of stare at us? Not that I want them to, I'm just curious.
They have no idea who you are.
Cool, I like it.
I hate it.
Why? You were so excited earlier.
And then
Actually,
as you come out, you do see Abron is sort of like trailing back behind Siora's sort of. He's got one sort of arm on Siora, and as he comes out, the crowd erupts into applause and such. And he just sort of like takes a bow, starts falling forward. Siora like catches him, pulls him back up. He's just like, and the guards sort of escort him as like the crowd's kind of like try to push forward.
Andrew, is he gonna take credit for all that?
He's gonna take credit for most of it.
Sure. Okay.
You always have to include the helpers in a great story, and
So are you a helper?
yes. And you're my helpers. There's sort of a hierarchy in this.
Uh-huh.
You understand. Of course you understand, yes.
Oh, believe me, we do understand.
Aww.
Okay.
All right, what would all you little helpers like to do next?
I'm gonna take some gold and buy some fucking magic.
All right, so heading over to Estrella's, she seems emphatically pleased, and like she definitely predicted that you would be back, and sells you the sunlight sensitivity.
One
drops.
day's worth.
Bottle will last for 30 days, and should you wish to replenish it, you can have a sort of magically refilling bottle if you so choose.
How much does that cost?
The refills for it are 100 gold piece.
And is it one of those things like can you get overdrafted? Or like are you leaving money behind or what?
She never leaves money behind. She's a very good businesswoman.
I'm just a little bit confused about the technicalities of this.
There's a cap on the ball that you put the gold pieces in, and it's a portal that teleports to her pocket.
Perfect.
Sure.
She's really talented.
Okay. I'll take it. What was it, 1,500?
Yeah, that was for because she like invented it for you, so that was the price for her expertise. But once you know the recipe, it's just extortion after that.
And are there more details on this? Is there something I could put somewhere, like in my journal?
You apply it as drops to your eyes, and for 8 hours, it removes sunlight sensitivity.
Okay.
That's all it does.
Okay.
There's a long list of side effects, which we just won't get into.
May cause depression.
Yeah.
You know the
May
price
cause
has to be
blindness.
included in the
Doctor.
commercial now.
Yeah. May cause blindness. Yeah, the application is a DC 35 dexterity sleight of hand check. Just in case your eyes are like moving around and stuff. Beholders love this stuff.
Don't move your eyes while you apply it.
All right.
Mhm.
So, Bodrin's march unceremoniously concluded. You make your way back to the sanctuary, to the bar, to the...
Well, I guess here's the thing. The day of Bodrin's March, is it like an all-day celebration thing? Like, are there like things that happen at night?
Everybody's getting fucked up.
Yeah, typically people celebrate the results of the fight. They seem to have taken to Oberyn, as you get the general consensus that they know he stayed and fought, and the other combatant didn't. So they consider him the victor because they don't see the other guy.
I'm bleeding, making me the victor.
So I guess, I mean, Kendra, if you want to, I guess, do you want to like follow Oberyn around tonight? Or do you want to like maybe separate from that scene?
Well, does Oberyn want us with him?
I don't know. He's your brother.
Yes.
They're kind of back a ways behind you now. They move a lot slower than you guys.
That's impressive.
But they've already decided what they're doing.
Oberyn,
What's that like?
What are you doing with the rest of
What are you doing with the rest
What are
of
you
your
doing with the rest of the night?
Well, I thought I would perhaps stop bleeding, and yeah, I hadn't really planned out after that. Probably some celebration, some parties. You know, be a hero to the people, something like that. Oh, it's bleeding over here now.
I'm gonna at second level cast Cure Wounds on him. So yeah, I mean, you can totally like rally, right? Completely. You've got this.
I have already had it, but well,
Are
thank
there
you.
not
No, this
medics
is
on staff for this event?
good. We bring our own. Yeah, I wonder what Jexty is celebrating in all of this. Bet she won a lot of money today. Always
Maybe
bets on
she
me.
did.
And I won.
No, she doesn't.
Sort of a bitch. Anyway.
Right, well, if we see her, she'll celebrate with us. Great. Well, y'all are just a joyful troop of happiness.
Let's get fucked up.
It's the favorite thing I've ever heard out of your mouth, Kendra, and I don't usually listen to you talk. All right, well, we'll start here at the collective, and move on from there. So,
Collective? No, wait a minute. That bar we went to was the club.
The proscenium.
It was the Q. Also the
yeah,
proscenium.
he's referring to Lysandra's Food Collective.
Oh, right.
Have we ever gone yet?
Nope.
Or do we just keep talking?
No, we just keep talking about it.
All right, so there is
No time like the present.
a night of revelry. Basically, Oberyn kind of walks in, and wherever he goes, there are drinks to be had. Sometimes even you get them as part of his entourage, his band of helpers. Siora flits about happily. At some point, she has completely changed her outfit. You're not sure where or how, but she is like pristinely clean and wearing something completely different than she was for the battle. And you can also see that she has around her neck, there's like this new sort of like ruby necklace that
was
has
fast.
already been fashioned. Is there anything in specific that you would all like to do aside from long baths, etc.?
I would like specifically to have a drink off against Roswell.
Oh.
Yes. I think is this the first time that we've really seen you truly like see?
This is the only time you've seen Kindred drink ever.
Okay. Can we
I will be the judge.
Tevrid is just staring at Kendra.
I mean,
Siora is
do you
just
want
like,
do you want it to be ale? Do you want it
I'll take
like-
care of the menu. You two sit. She
Okay.
stands up.
And listen, I've
If
got
she
some...
tries to stab you with knives, don't let her.
Oh, she's not gonna stab me. You're not gonna stab
See
me.
her like sheathing her dagger again.
I still remember last time.
Comes back with 2 big bottles, sets them. One is kind of almost this like effervescent like pink color. The other is sort of more kind of like this amber brown. And as she pours it, it sort of just like clouds over and this smoke sort of billows up, and it just has the smell of this very sort of smoky whiskey, and it's like actually seems like it's
a flaming Targaryen.
They call it a King's Landing.
Oh God.
Spoilers. All right. So she pours out 2 shots and kind of slides them both to you, takes a swig out of the bottle herself, puts it down. To us, and sometimes
Chin chin.
Aubryn.
Kindra drinks it down.
With you didn't cheer.
Is that what you meant to?
You're supposed to, like clink glasses
Is
like
it-
chin chin.
Is it first to pass out, or how what? You're just drinking until you can't drink no
First-
more?
First to make a death saving throw.
Oh.
It's got hardcore real fast.
Yeah, that just
What is a death saving throw?
I don't know.
All
it
right.
just got weird.
Constitution off.
So it kind of, for half a second it burns, but then as you swallow it, just super smooth, nice. And then you kind of cough a little bit, and this sort of trail of smoke comes out of your mouth. Siora just sort of takes another swig of the bottle and makes a little like ring, and it swirls out. Pours 2 more. Well, drink up. She leans in beside you, Kendra. Are you? You're not going to die. This isn't some sort of. Just be careful. She kind of like pats you on the head.
Kindred takes the bottle. She pours Roswell shots, and she just drinks from the bottle.
Oh, okay. Hey, this is like new territory for you. I mean, and then as Roswell's talking, like she's just continuing to, take the shots in between each sentence. Are you gonna be all right?
Perfectly fine.
All right, well, I gotta pee.
All right. So, as you guys start drinking, you get 4 or 5 shots worth in the period of like half an hour. As they come fast and furious, I'm gonna need both of you to whisper me your Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
Would mine be at? This is considered poison.
Unfortunately, no, it's not quite
No,
strong enough. Unless you want to take poison damage every time you have alcohol from now on.
No, I don't.
No.
I was.
I mean, like, yes, but no. It's the good kind of poison.
How do I whisper? Oh, hang on. Sorry, I gotta go up to the.
You can just type. What is it?
Slash W space Casey.
Slash W space.
Well, you don't know. It'll automatically go to Casey because she's the DM.
So it's GM roll, right?
Oh, yeah. Just do
Yes,
GM
it's
rolls.
yeah.
GM roll. All right, and you both seem. Well, I guess you can narrate depending on your rolls. DC of that was 14.
Okay. So, I do my shots. A few of them feel a little rumbly, but I let out a probably quite a hearty burp, but not in anybody's face because that's super gross. But I feel pretty good.
Kendra drinks in her shots. There's definitely the effect of drinking shots of the alcohol stinging your throat at times, but beyond that, she seems completely fine.
I think we need a cheese board. Like when you're doing this, you want to put some cheese in the belly to make this go well. Can we get a cheese board? Is that a thing?
Are you trying to make it easier for yourself?
Hey, I'm gonna share the cheese. You know, we haven't eaten all day, man. Come on.
We'll see what we can do, but in the meantime, she pours 3 more in front of both of you and kind of walks away. Cheese? Do you have any boards made of cheese? I'll show you. Here, let's.
I think they call it charcuterie.
Don't listen to them. They're drunk. All right, so 3 more. Bottoms up.
Charcuterie.
Auburn comes over and sort of takes the bottle, just guzzles it for a second, slams it back down. Just kind of like looks back and forth at you. All right.
Boom, boom, boom.
DC is going up to 18. Constitution saving throws. All right. So, what happens to both of you?
I try to do some of those smoke ring things, but it ends up going. I didn't do it, but I'm fine.
Yeah. For the record, this doesn't mean that you're not drunk. This just means you haven't like passed out.
Oh, sure. I'm also a dwarf, and this is my jam.
What's your jam?
This is like good times, like, you know, embedding this day in lovely memory.
And Kendra?
So, Kendra seems exactly like her normal self. Just slamming down shots. Just no change at all.
You're really drinking.
At one point, someone's gonna have to use the restroom, but all right.
Yeah. All right. And Auburn's just sort of like, his head is down on the table. He picks it up. He's like, all right, this is taking too long. No more of this water. And he puts it down and he grabs the other bottle that's just like pink and he pours it and it changes color like 3 or 4 times as it like flows and goes in. The flavor is different depending on when you drink it. It's great. Puts it down. Just
I don't have a drinking problem.
One of these will, you know. So I need you to go ahead and make Constitution saving throws at disadvantage. DC is now 20. Because you're already drunk. And this shit is good.
Can you do a comma to do 2 rolls, or do I just...
You can roll twice and send me.
Yeah. Okay, hang on.
All right. So, both of you, the saves against passing out. What has happened?
So I go to do mine. I look Kendra in the eye, not like defiantly, but like, hey, we've come a long way, baby, like the kind of thing. And I take a shot of it, and it tastes, I think like raspberries, and it's really good. I take a shot of it, and then I'm like, yeah, and then I'm down.
Kendra finishes her shot, looks at the unconscious Roswell, and takes another shot, and relaxes back. She's completely fine.
Everyone's eyes have been getting narrower and narrower.
Mine too. I want an insight.
Can't insight.
Can't insight.
Inside the
Damn
party.
you.
But
I'm a brick wall.
you can make,
I don't think you're really drinking.
you can
I
make
don't believe it.
a perception roll if you'd like, because you can perception roll the party.
Mm-hmm.
I will perception roll the party.
All right.
That tracks.
All right. So as sort of both of you and Tebrin are looking, Akira, you pay special attention, and every drop of it has been consumed by Kendra.
You have done some sort of magic.
I have not done anything.
You most certainly have.
I'm
You're
unconscious.
you're unconscious.
I'm gonna check on Roswell really fast. And put her in recovery position.
She's unconscious but stable.
Okay.
Make a death save. How did your character die? Well,
Well, alcohol poisoning, it's pretty serious there, kids. You don't want to take this lightly.
I don't know why you don't believe me. I'm a Havel. I'm made of strong stuff.
I'm actually really curious about what it would look like if you were pretending to be drunk, what it would look like.
Pretend. Do it.
We should go to a library. You guys are the best.
Oh, yes! Let's get you.
Oh, you know what? Actually, drunk Kendra is a lot nicer. Maybe we should keep her.
Here's the thing, though. We are getting intoxicated. This just is a matter of passing out.
Right.
Oh no,
For you to pass
Kendra.
out before Kendra does.
Kendra-
from what you're observing, Kendra is stone cold sober right now.
Yeah, she's done something. Something is up. You have resistance to alcohol. True or false?
False.
You are a demon, so you can't get drunk.
Yeah. They're devils, but no.
That's pretty close.
Auburn just sort of watching, kind of like stands up, just like looks at you, like somewhat like dismayed, and then just kind of like stumbles off into like the party elsewhere. So, what would you guys like to do for the rest of the night? You can eat, drink, and be merry. There's plenty of food to be had, plenty of drink to be drunk. Roswell, after about 1d4 hours, you regain consciousness.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to think that a charcuterie board somehow ended up underneath my head. And as I wake up, I just am like, oh, yeah, okay.
You kind of have like half a wheel of cheese as a pillow.
Yeah. And I just kind of like nibble some nice summer sausage and
That's good.
and some good cheddar and stuff as I try to bring myself back.
All right. And so, as the night sort of winds on past midnight and such, Ciora, fairly intoxicated, but not like ridiculously sloppy, just sort of comes down and sits down by all of you. So I've been asking around, as I know you all need to do a bit of traveling, and there's a few ways you can get to where you need to go, but it depends on, depends a lot on all of you.
What do you mean, Ciora?
Well, I mean, when I travel, I despise traveling, but I like to be other places. So when I do it, I just boop, teleport and I'm there. But it's a little bit on the well, let's just say that it's expensive. And the selection of destinations is limited to the company. However, my sources say that there are other, perhaps less official commercial ways to bop from hither to thither. And not sure how picky you are about your choice of transportation. And there are perhaps even other options in the city. There's lots of people who do magic.
Am I going to be spliced in half when I do this?
Most definitely.
Because I don't want to be cut in half when you teleport. Is it going to be spinny? Are we going to do it now?
No.
No.
There's no teleporting now. Unless you want to, we could go there right now. We could send you off on your quest with a great... But no.
So are you coming or not?
I don't know. Tebrin?
I think it's your choice.
Yes.
Don't put this on Teb.
Well, I'm happy to go, but I'm equally happy to stay if that is of greater value. I don't want to be a burden upon any of you.
Can I insight check her for general emotional vibe underneath the layer of alcohol?
Yes, you can.
Like to roll to vibe.
RTV.
18.
She seems generally sort of amiable and wanting to kind of be as compliant's not the right word, but be as like sort of helpful,
accommodating.
Accommodating, that's the word. And you don't really get a clear read one way or the other if she feels anything in particular. And then you're like, wait, she does this for a living.
And I'm drunk.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the question though, for real. What you said the company? What company?
Well, I use the Transient Junction. It's a company that has teleportation circles and many destinations. They're quite good. The buildings through which you teleport are just lovely decorated. It's good. They always have somebody waiting with like a glass of water or something before you arrive on the other side. I only think there's been like 1 or 2 people accidentally misdirected in their many years of service, so they have a fairly good track record. Both the proprietors are married. They have a wonderful story about how they fell in love while they were learning the art of conjuration together. One of the schools in Vesselar. It's all very heartwarming, very touchy, and they're a local business, so we'd love to support them here.
And when you say expensive, do you have an exact number?
I never ask for the numbers, but
of course you don't.
I suppose it would be relevant. I don't know. Yes, I really, you'd have to ask them yourselves.
Okay. And these other forms that you have found, I assume you mean that they're illegal?
Well, just sort of looks around. I mean, nothing is really illegal, is it?
Yes. Yes. Some things are illegal.
It's more of that's a perspective thing, I think.
I don't think so. I think
yeah, exactly. It's perspective of legality. But
so here's the thing, Akira. Sometimes we're got a bigger thing going on.
I know, but I just want to know what the deal is.
Why not just spend some rules to do that bigger thing? Right?
Roswell, just because we're doing it for the greater good doesn't mean we have to be illegal about it.
So you can do the jail time when we come back.
I don't want to go to jail.
Akira.
Illegal is really negotiable.
Laws are
Is
just...
it though? Look,
Look, Akira. laws are to keep the working class in line. They don't apply to us.
Here's the thing about this rule. Are we hurting anybody? Are we hurting
I don't know.
ourselves?
I don't know. I don't know what these things are.
Pretty sure the magic doesn't hurt anyone, except for maybe you if something goes wrong.
But it's not that bad. We're not doing harm to anybody.
We don't know that.
What harm would we be doing?
I don't want to talk about economics right now, but that is a factor, okay? It is a factor. It might not hurt people directly,
Well,
but
then
it hurts
tell you
them
what.
indirectly.
When all this is done, we'll go to a legal one and pay double.
That
Even everything out.
doesn't entirely make sense to me, but whatever helps you quest at night.
Do you know under what auspices these other ones are running?
Well, it's not necessarily business. This is a person. She's she kind of like leans in a little bit more. She's I guess for hire arcanists to underworld black market type ventures, very sought after. Probably one of the most gifted sorcerers in the city.
Other than Kendra.
Like I said, one of the most gifted in the city.
I tried.
She's part of an organization, very
Let it out.
very powerful underground organization. Perhaps you've heard of them, if only through whispers. The Shadow's Oath. They pride themselves on having people in their employ who can do remarkable things. Sometimes with or without conscience. That's usually negotiable as part of the contract, but don't think she would be asking for money. So,
Well, what's she gonna ask for?
well,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't speak on her behalf. I merely know of her existence.
What did you do for her before?
I haven't done anything for her.
How did you get her name? What is her name?
Her name is Margravine.
Margravine.
Oh, so you were telling us about the expensive spa treatment type of teleportation earlier,
Right, 'cause
and now
that's-
you're telling us about the
Correct.
the gross manicure you get in the mall or something.
I don't understand, but the analogy is near flawless, I suppose.
How did you get her name?
Well, I can't just go around divulging all of my contacts.
And this
I heard
is
it from a
all-
person who heard it from another person who knew that I was looking.
You had a
It's-
boyfriend that looked like me.
I had that song in my head last night.
And is that all that you've heard from such and such friends? These are our two options.
Well, for the
We can
moment,
also walk.
yes, you can travel like peasants, but that'll
Peasants.
take weeks. I assume you're in a bit of a hurry.
I mean,
Is this
I
still
mean,
at night in the bar?
It's
just-
like
Yeah.
late night.
I'm just sleeping, going. They're just.
Let's just pay the money to the underground sorcerer.
but that's the thing. It
She's not gonna ask for money.
maybe.
You guys are getting tattoos.
I don't think that any of you want to get mixed up with the Shadow's Oath.
I think that I agree with that.
This did change things right now. I just thought it was gonna be.
I mean, maybe you can all sleep on it and you'll wake up with some sort of epiphany, but I don't know. The black markets and that side of things, they have a great way of getting things done. I mean, if you take one of these teleportation circle businesses, they're going to get you close, but not there. I would bet Kendra's sobriety that Magravine could drop you on any location that is known out there.
What is up with the sobriety? What is that?
I'm talented in everything I do.
Except for lying.
Right, it's true. I'm a terrible liar. That's why I avoid it.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
let's all sleep on it, because clearly you're in no position to make any forward progress on this at the moment. And maybe Numerus will show up and just make a decision for you.
All right, Roswell. Let's go. I will not clap loudly in your ears anymore. I will whisper to you, and I will help you back to the sanctuary.
Yes. Well, and so I'm imagining you trying to help me. Actually,
Yes.
I think I'm probably that kind of drunk that just kind of like wanders off, and you have to like redirect me.
Yep. I can totally see that happening right now.
It's my birth. It's not my birthday. I'm 1 year older today. And technically, you're 1 year older tomorrow too, from the day before, and it keeps going.
Yep, that's right. We are 1 day or older.
Don't fucking condescend to me.
I'm not condescending.
Yeah.
All right, so as you guys wind your way through the streets,
what is Siora up to when everything starts to break up?
she takes a bottle off of the table, and sort of sits down next to you and just sort of sighs. You shouldn't. You should. I don't know. I don't think all of you can pay. It's awfully expensive. I didn't want to say it in front of everyone else, but you're all so very poor.
No, it is a concern of mine as well.
Margravine, I'm sure, is very, very good, and I don't know, if you're a little bit more malleable in your thinking, it could be a wonderful new arrangement where you have access to all sorts of things you didn't have. It could be very fruitful for you all. You need to start, I don't know, networking or something. This little club that you've set up is very, very sort of parochially minded. If you'd like, I could perhaps work up some sort of letterhead or something for you all to get started.
We don't even have a name.
Well, that perhaps needs to change if you're going to be known as some sort of entity, especially to the likes of the Shadow's Oath.
Well, I mean, when you come right down to it, the fact of the matter is that if we end up treating with Margravine, we all know that it's going to be me doing it, and then me doing whatever it is that she wants.
That's what I like about you. You get things done. Aside from being eaten by worms, you weren't very good at
Thanks. Technically, I was very good at being eaten by worms.
Yes,
Thank you for bringing it up. That's not a sore spot at all.
It's all right. And Auburn kind of staggers by, and he's just like, "I just bought the building next door, so we don't have to walk home." And then just like keeps walking by. Well, shall we go see our new building?
All right.
It turns out the building next door is actually an inn, which has a boisterous party in its lobby at the moment. And you see, like, what you're guessing are the owners leaving, and they just have, like, this big old bag just, like, bursting at the seams that looks like they're struggling to move it. Well,
something tells me that he didn't exactly get market price on this establishment.
She kind of, like, pushes the bottle into your chest. I'm going to bed. You can either stay up and brood about this, or, well, you know the rest. She just walks upstairs.
he takes it like a long pull from the bottle and then sets it aside and follows her.
All right. And Kendra, where are you going?
We'll find a room and go to sleep in the Abbey.
All right.
Yes, the Abbey.
Morning finds all of you. A little bit later for some. Numerius, your armor is sort of in the process of being repaired this morning. As they sort of lined up the smithy, things have been cleaned off as they can do, and just sort of waiting for the more heavy duty repairs that they couldn't do without tools.
Okay, in character, will there be much of a gold sink for this? Because I have 21
You
without the party fund.
the at first, kind of awkwardly, your servants come back and say that there's likely a 50 gold piece fee for repairing everything. However, one of them returns back, sort of lagging behind the others, and they say that a benefactor has covered it, based on your service to the Empire.
Oh, that's good. That's good. We should try to find out who this benefactor is, unless you already know and you're just withholding it from me.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well then, we should try to find that out and give thanks where thanks is due.
I will certainly inquire.
Excellent.
How is your squirrel, sir?
My what now?
Your breakfast. We thought it might be good for you to try some new delicacies. So
We're gnomes. We speak with small animals. We do not eat them. We eat large animals.
They do here. Was it good? The bacon was squirrel. You can only get one or two strips out from.
Get out of here! No.
Scampers off.
Can't believe they're gonna make me. I'm still eating it.
All right.
This is ridiculous and tasty.
So what are you all up to?
I will then go find the rest of the party. I suppose that so far our headquarters, if you will, has been Cookie's. Roswell's little nunchuary, and we'll head over that way.
All right, and you can all meet up. You find the others, after having eaten a modest breakfast, are out in the central garden, just sort of lounging about. A little while later, both Tebrin and Siora arrive. Tebrin looking like he didn't wash or change his clothes at all. Siora looking fresh as a daisy.
Siora, you should teach Tebrin how to do that.
Well, yes, I do suppose he's a little rough around the edges, but I don't know. I kind of like she kind of like pats him on the chest, the ruggedness of it. Like he could, at any point.
Gross. Okay, so
what did I just miss?
You just got fondled.
Nothing to do with your character at all.
I presume by Siora.
Surprisingly, it was Akira this time.
What?
Oh, you guys are the worst.
Okay.
So
Akira would never.
So to recap, we need to figure out how we're going to get to the place we definitely decided to go to, Grimtide.
Which I'm still not completely. Okay. Anyway, yes, Grimtide.
So,
once again, specifically, we're going to the Isle of Remnants.
Yeah.
So, if we can take a teleportation circle to the Isle of Remnants, that's the goal. But if we can't, Grimtide and then get on a boat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Kendra, does your family have any sway with these teleportation circle owner people?
I have no idea.
Because
we have money, which sways everybody.
I mean, all I'm saying is if it's possible that you could have the family influence the pricing or anything along those lines, we might be in need. As I find my own pockets very thin. They're fixing up my armor this morning. Should be ready by the afternoon. For what I understand, I have a benefactor to thank for that. But I have very little in the means of actually thanking anybody from gold until we split the party funds. Assuming Tebrin didn't buy his liquid smoke in a vial stuff. I don't know.
Well, it didn't take all of it.
Well, that's good. That's good. I didn't realize.
Between all of you, you must have what? Several tens of thousands of gold left?
Tens of gold. Tens and tens.
I think your sense of scale may be off by a few magnitudes.
Well, how much gold do you have?
Not that much. Like, take that and, like, divide it by, like...
0. Divide it by 0.
She crashes and reboots. Well, I can see if I can find a price for you if you give me some time. Or you could go there and talk to them yourself.
I really do feel like the underground option is the better option.
The what?
Underground option.
Oh yeah, no, Marius. Apparently, there's an underground place. We have to pay with like not money,
I've
but
spent
something
a
else.
lot of time in the underground lately.
Not that underground.
The culturally underground.
Yes, unfortunately, I had a funny feeling it would be that. Go on. I'm listening.
Thing called the Shadow's Oath,
Oh, that sounds reputable. Go on.
and they might make us do something versus like paying for it, which that feels weird.
Or they might make us pay for it.
I mean, you can always offer them gold. There's nothing to say that they perhaps might need a bit of coin. I don't know.
You made it sound like we were gonna have to like give them jars of like children's blood or something.
That's,
What would they do with
Roswell.
children's blood?
It's too early in the
Or-
morning for that kind of. Oh my god.
She puts down her Bloody Mary. Oh, sorry.
How did you make that?
we are known for them here in the order. Just
You
just
make them out of
because
the
we're
blood of children. This is Mary's blood. The Bloody Mary.
We call it eagle juice, but yeah.
Oh man. So, but what about? Aren't there schools here that practice? Maybe we can.
get the trainees to do it for us.
Yeah.
That seems like a good way to lose an arm.
Something. Or
All right. Let's
You want to go to an apprentice teleporter circle?
well,
No.
or perhaps I don't.
Let me tell you
know.
about a story about a boy who lived in an attic.
Okay.
He wanted to do teleportation circles. He ended up with skeleton cats.
Well,
And
no, I think the
dead
skeleton
servants.
cats are actually separate.
No.
No, they were the same thing.
So I think we just maybe research both options and then
Why don't we not research and just go and talk to them and find out
Does
what they
this
want?
town have a
I really don't-
Zaget?
I like lean over to Kendra, and I'm like, I really don't think we all should go.
Okay, why not?
I gestured to Marius and Akira.
What?
We're gonna go talk to. I'm speaking.
Tebrin, we can see you gesturing to us. What are you doing?
Look, I know they're weird, but
I'm sorry.
it'll be fine.
I'm sorry. Just to check in with you real fast. You do remember what Akira has tried to do every time something went even mildly wrong?
Yes, go to a library.
Yes,
Before
I like
that-
the library. There's information there. Okay.
We're whispering to each other.
My head is on Kendra's shoulder.
Uh-oh, Siora's gonna get you. Oh.
Look,
I had to go to the authorities every time.
right, but we'll pretend that there's a library there, and she'll
No,
buy it.
The
Hey,
problem-
Kira, do you want to go to a library?
I've already tried to go to the library, and they took all the books that I wanted to research.
You know who probably has a lot of books that aren't publicly available.
Who?
Well, maybe a underground society that has people that can teleport other people around and other such counterculture magical device mahoganies.
You know I'm not
Counterculture.
stupid, right?
They're hot topic.
Yes.
You have this super edgy line of teens where it's just really great.
Just
I used to shop there all the time when I was young.
Look, we don't have money. We don't have a lot of money. We need to get somewhere, and we need to not take forever. We should go
Right.
talk to the Shadows Earth people and find out what they want.
if that doesn't work, maybe we can procure some horses and go as fast as we are able.
Yes.
And a little pony for me.
I mean, they do have dogs that you can ride that are quite fast.
I understand that that's an option.
Too soon, Ciara. Too soon.
Too soon for what?
We don't really talk about dogs anymore around here.
Well, that's depressing. They're such happy creatures full of life and vitality.
Everyone also looks confused.
Well, generally, plants are also happy creatures, but it turns out not all of them.
Oh, you are a weird bunch.
Yeah, no, this was mystifying even me.
So,
I just feel like we haven't explored every option. I
That's
feel
why
like there might be more than 2 options.
there's
I
3.
should go and explore
Or
this
3.
option,
Why don't we all go together? It'll be...
and you all don't have to worry about it.
Fine.
What?
We go
The actual
explore
company.
another option.
Okay, well then me and Nomarius and whomever can go and get prices and stuff as other options. How does that sound?
That sounds excellent.
Great. Maybe I can find a secondary library.
So,
Oh, a bookmobile. Aha!
It's like the ice cream truck for Kira.
Yeah.
I think I might want to go with Tebrin and Kendra.
Well,
I'm not going to be
the voice of reason for them then.
Please.
Don't let them commit crimes just because.
Well, some crimes are okay.
What?
Oswell,
Goodness.
we live in a society. What's wrong with you?
Listen, if there's options put before us that help with the greater thing here, maybe those are the ones to take. I'll find Estes will let me know.
For the greater good. Mm-hmm.
The greater good.
The
So-
greater good.
Marian's reading?
Akira, let's go this way toward this
Okay, good. I'm glad you-
apparently above board and legitimate teleportation circle company. TCC, teleportation circle company. And
Actually, it's actually called the Transit Junction.
Transient.
no, I was on medieval Yelp. They don't have the.
No,
thing.
that's what Siora said.
It's not the.
Shira hands you a piece of paper. I'm taking the liberty of writing down the address. I thought it might be useful.
You are great. Thank you.
Yes, you hated me yesterday.
Yes. For right now, though, this piece of paper means a lot to me. Thank you very much.
I will keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember the profile.
Wait, what?
You're reminding me.
Yes.
Is this the underground? Did you give us the
Both of
wrong
you.
one?
No, but I mean, when last we spoke, you were extolling conspiracy theories and
To you. Nobody else. I wasn't the one.
Oh,
Calling
let's
out
not bring
dragons.
let's not
let's
bring
not
up this
bring
argument. This is an hour and a half worth of real time actual This is just too long of a discussion. Let's go, Kara. Let's go
I'm
this
just
way.
saying, Seaworld was the one who was talking about dragons with everybody.
She just kind of like pushes you guys off, heading off in that direction. All right, it's far too early in the morning for this. Well, I kind of had a feeling that you would, see things my way. So I took the liberty of already arranging a meeting, which I think that we're perhaps almost late for. So let's get going.
Yeah, let's do it.
We have about half an hour to get there. So it's on the other side of town, but
It's on the underside of town.
yes. And off you go, following Ciora. So those of you going to the above board business, you follow the signs sort of taking you to the Crimson Walk district, which is, as you've spent enough time in the city now, the Crimson District is the one sort of where a lot of the military barracksings are, and other sort of more official buildings that have to do with the military itself. It's kind of like the defense offices and that sort of thing. There are other things there, other businesses, but that's sort of the main bulk of the town. It's kind of removed. It's on the outskirts a little bit. And so you find yourself in front of a storefront. There is no kind of like dangling sign in front, just sort of painted across in very sort of nice, clean lettering. It says The Transient Juncture. And there's a set of sort of double doors going in that you push open. No windows in. And as you come in, it's very elaborately decorated. And you can see there are very nice paintings on the walls. There's sort of a fireplace, kind of this nice sort of lounge area that you come into. And there's a single desk with a woman, probably in about her mid-40s, human, sitting there. Her sort of graying hair is kind of tied up messily in a bun behind. And she, as you enter, she just kind of looks up. Oh, what can I do for you? Are you looking to go on perhaps a trip?
Maybe. Nemarius, do you want? I'm still a little upset.
We were just wondering if you happen to have any destinations to include the. Switch over to the map. Oh, it's not the map. It's just a hillside. All the names seem to be going away from me right now. Yes. Now that I think about it, and the map is available.
Do you have a list of locations to where you transit?
I do indeed. We have many locations, a few of them currently down for servicing, but do you have some sort of idea, or do you just want me to recite the entire
Well,
list
close
of
to
where we have...
Grimtide is this isle. The Isle of...
Nope.
Not actually
Nope.
Hmm?
Grimtide is not anywhere near the Isles of Remnants.
Close to Grimtide.
She kind of like pulls out like a very large map and sort of like lays it out, and you can see there's different sort of like marks that are highlighted on it. Well, if you're looking for offerings in the Dracora Empire, we have 3 teleportation circles in Vesular itself. We have 1 in Grimtide, as you have mentioned. We also have 2 in the city of Vaith, which is north of Grimtide, slightly. On the
But the
coast
Isles
there.
are technically Dracora, correct? The Isle of Remnants?
I have Remnants has kind of fallen out of any political affiliation, as it has almost no population.
So no circle there.
I'm afraid not. It really wouldn't be profitable, as I never really met anyone who wanted to go there.
Fair enough, fair enough. How much is to Grimtide?
Well, it's a flat rate to anywhere, as the rituals are the same. It's 400 gold pieces per person for a round trip. Teleportation circles, you can stay as long as you want. Payment is in advance, and you obviously must adhere to the other rules of teleportation travel. But other than that, we can guarantee your safe and timely arrival at your destination, or full refund will be issued.
You said you had 2 portals in Vaith?
Yes, one at the Aurelian Dream Resort and the other at the Celestial Foundation Casino.
Oh. Uh-huh. Okay, sounds about right.
I love it.
Casino. No. Yes, so Grimtide, 400 gold, you say, per person. Is there any kind of group rate?
How many
Let's
are you
say-
looking to send?
A dozen, or half of that, actually.
Our group rates start at 10 or more.
6 or more. Great. I guess not then. Oh, well, it was worth a try.
Unfortunately, our rates are fairly set and are, I believe, competitive, as we have a monopoly in this business, as it's very hard to create reliable services. But one of the reasons our services are so reliable is because we can maintain the integrity of all of our teleportation circles, given our prices. I do know that they are a bit steep, but there is no faster or better way to travel.
Wait, you said it's competitive, but not... I'm sorry.
But then
What?
she said monopoly, I know.
Yes. So are you the only company, or are you a competitor of another company?
There are others that offer similar services, but they can promise neither our service nor reliability. So there is truly no competition.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. I will have to speak with the others, of course.
If you'd like, I do have a guest book of testimonials. If reviewing that
Kara,
will
there's a
help
book. Go ahead.
Well, do you have any to-go pamphlets or anything like that?
We do have an informational brochure. She kind of stands up and walks over and, like, on one of the chairs over in the lounge area, she kind of, like, picks it up. There you go. That will at least covers the basic rules, provides a list of all of our destinations as a map for your convenience, and it also gives you direction for the payment. My husband and I would be happy and honored to have your business and to make the travel of your dreams, however remote, possible.
Before I read the brochure, the book that she pointed out, can I go over and just like skim some names, see if any names that stand out to me?
Yeah, make an investigation roll. All right, going through,
11.
there are quite a few. It's a pretty thick book, and it is sort of signed in sort of large writing in most of them. A lot of them are boisterous, glowing reviews, but all of the names in it have like titles, Duke, Duchess, Sir, Lady, blah blah blah. Everything is written in very sort of colorful, nice calligraphy, but they all seem to be glowing reviews. 10 out of 10 stars.
Now, just to get some kind of perspective on what kind of value it is here, what kind of journey would it be by, say, foot or horse to Grimtide? Remembering that the original campaign started at Grimtide, sailing to Eridor, so I'd been there before. Is there any way to gauge the distance?
Yeah,
or
so
time?
if you were to go by land to Grimtide, you're guessing it's probably 2 or 3 weeks if you're like on horseback, not like galloping as hard as you can. But
Right,
normal,
but a
normal
steady
travel,
pace.
normal
Steady
travel
pace.
time probably like 2 to 3 weeks, weather dependent. And then it took about a week and a half to sail from Grimtide straight across to Romont. So sailing up and around, you do know just sort of generally, once you get sort of north of Eridor, those are pretty treacherous waters, as that sort of in the winter does freeze over. It is coming onto spring now, so the ice will be receding, but it's not.
So wait a minute, where the Isle of
Isle of Remnants is.
I
up
was
here.
too zoomed in. I didn't see the Isles. I'm like, holy cow! So I just assumed they were the ones in the channel. My apologies.
Oh, so the Isle of Remnants is probably all said and done by land, and then booking passage to Grimtide all the way out is you're probably looking at a month and a half to 2 months to get there.
Okay.
And there obviously will be some charge for passage sailing there too.
Clearly.
But it doesn't strike you as undoable, it just takes time. Likewise, you could potentially leave from Vaith, but it's about the same distance.
Well, there's 6 of us. We could all go to a different location.
Sounds about right.
I'm kidding.
So there was no names that stood out to me in that book. Okay.
Nope. You do actually, going through, the only name that does stand out for you is Siora's name is in there.
Okay.
She took 12 trips last month. What in the world?
She has a frequent teleporter card. She's a executive gold platinum member.
What kind of places does she go? Does it? It doesn't say the destination though. It just says
No, it just
okay.
says the reviews.
I'm just reading my pamphlet now on the rules and stuff.
All right.
So whatever you're doing, Ameria,
do you want to know the rules?
No, we would.
Yeah, I would like to know some of the rules.
You're muted.
Yeah. Me?
No, not you.
Oh.
Oh, it was me. I managed to squeeze the mute button without touching it with my fingers. That's weird.
All right. So the rules. No additional creatures. All payment in advance. All liability is waived upon use of services. Due to regulations, all travel must be logged and reported. And the last rule, no transportation of sources of unprotected stored arcane energy, as it is disruptive to the process.
Kendra, you're out.
Energy has been known to discharge during transport, causing unpredictable or dangerous results. Lead-lined containers offer suitable protection, typically.
Can I get a copy pasta?
I'll put it in Discord.
Thank you.
Kind of chat room jargon is that?
And then, do you want the list of available locations?
Yes.
All right. I will just post these, I guess. Those are the available locations.
Are we posting this?
Yes. All right. Anything else you would like to do at the transient juncture?
Temporarily out of service. Why is Romont temporarily out of service? Convenient.
I don't wish to do anything else. Do you?
I do not. Let us go report back to our friends, assuming they are not knee-deep in some sort of skullduggery.
All right. Does anyone need a break? I know we're a little bit behind halfway, but people have stood up and gotten breaks individually. So, everybody good?
Yeah.
I couldn't hold it, so.
No,
Right,
that's fine.
also-
That's fine. We're good. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use this symbol.
It's good. It's good. Your thumb is muted.
No, I need to get something real quick in the kitchen, but I'm not going far.
So that was lying. Lying is what you just did. All right. So
You liar.
those of you who are following Siora, head your way into the Amethyst Arches towards the outskirts of town itself. You get to an area kind of back past a lot of where you've been, Tebrin, and out sort of in areas where there are lots of warehouses, and it looks like kind of storage for a lot of the storefronts, and that not a lot of people around. And she kind of goes, and you can see she kind of has half scrawled some sort of, it's not like an address, it's more sort of abstract directions. And Tebrin, you do notice there is Thieves' Cant about in not our first rodeo. Around some of it seems just kind of like marking of territory. Others are sort of signs for storage. Others are sort of signs for various trading fronts for various types of things like mercenary services or XYZ essentially. And then you get to a period that just says sort of no, like, sort of don't venture beyond this point, as this is like it's sort of like a territorial mark line, but it basically just says like this area is a no-go, like you're not going to find anything of profit here. So you walk past that into
Past the point of no return.
Past the point of no return. And things are in pretty good shape. It's not run down, but the buildings are fairly close. All of them have chains and locks on the door. And you come in front of a warehouse. It's kind of sort of barn-sized that has the front door of it sort of just slides on runners, and it's open just about a foot from the side itself. And what am I seeing?
Like a horror movie.
Is having a fit.
I'm so scared.
Oh, I hate that place now.
All right. I too.
What is that? Okay.
All right. So, looking around, you come up in front of this building, and the door is slightly slit open, and Sierra just kind of stops and looks at all of you and just kind of like shrugs her shoulders and kind of gestures towards it. As you look around, you do notice that somebody kind of like in the alley kind of across the way, there's somebody standing sort of their back against the wall. They just like look over at Sierra, and then they like carefully study each of you. Not particularly burly, but you can tell they are armed. They have several sort of daggers and a short sword along their sides. He's a halfling man, not huge in stature by any means, but definitely looks a little rough around the edges. And he just sort of gives a little bit of a nod, and then he sort of draws a dagger and kind of like picks his teeth with it a little bit and tosses it and puts it back in his thing. You all turn back towards the door, and nothing happens.
Oh, and I give him a bit of a nod as well after I finish sizing him up, and I'm gonna step up to the door. And did you say it was cracked, or is it completely closed?
The door itself is a large sort of sliding door, and it's like there's about a foot of it that's open.
What am I seeing?
Looking in, you
Stepping
see
up and looking.
a dark area filled with boxes.
And there's no thieves' cant marking this building.
No markings.
All right, I will slide the door open slightly and quietly make my way.
All right. As you push it open enough to kind of walk past it, and you walk in, the warehouse itself is very dark. Shadows kind of like there's windows up top on the second layer, and they're all kind of almost like frosted over, kind of with grime and kind of disservice. So it's just kind of very like low, dim light, much to the pleasant nature of your eyes. Shadows just wash over the floor, sort of all sort of geometric angles from the boxes. And you see sort of emerging from the back corner, taking a step around, a woman. Her head is almost completely shaved, has one sort of strip of hair that goes back, kind of like a mohawk, but then it kind of like just like flops over to one side. It's bright orange. And she just kind of like looks you over, kind of like cracks her knuckles, and then kind of like looks back behind and lets out a soft whistle, and then the door behind you just goes, and you hear the sound of somebody, sounds like pulling a chain and then locking the door itself. She just kind of nods at all of you, and then turns, takes a step past a larger crate, and then kind of like hits it with her elbow, and the front face of the crate just sort of dislodges a little bit, and then she swings it open. And it swings open. There's a stairwell that goes down from it. She just sort of, without saying anything, motions.
All right. Do I still? I presume I still have my party trailing me.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you stayed outside.
Yes, we're still with you.
They're all dead.
You did not tell us to
Still
stay
rolls.
outside,
Yeah.
so we're
Yeah.
in.
All right, yeah. I'll just give her a bit of a nod and
Yeah.
making sure gingerly that she doesn't stab me in the back on the way past.
And sort of as she goes to go by, Ciora is like, well, we're here. And she just like puts her hand like just up to Ciora's and just shakes her head back and then just like points down.
And seeing that she didn't want her to talk, I'm like, want her to know the stairs are cool. It's a cool trick, but I don't want to say it out loud.
She kind of takes whoever's the last one in, ushers you down the stairs, and pulls it shut behind, putting the whole stairwell in darkness. As you descend into a room, long hallway. You guess you're maybe about 20 feet underground. There's sort of torch sconces on either side. The air is very dry. The ground is packed dirt beneath your feet as you go. And you head for maybe about another 50 feet or so, and then the hall takes a quick right-hand turn, and you see a larger kind of open area with a bunch of sort of mismatched furniture. Some of it is very nice, some of it's very beat up. There's kind of like pillows and blankets on things. The ground is covered in just like a patchwork of different rugs. And sitting on one of the couches is a tiefling woman, seemingly a bit older in her years. None of you are super familiar with tieflings, but definitely shows sort of signs in her posture as being on in her years, maybe looking sort of in like 60s or so. And the woman who has brought you down sort of stands again, crossing her arms, just sort of standing in, and ushers you in. You can see there are other hallways out of the rooms. You can hear some like muffled noises out off in some of them, but sits down as the woman sort of leans in. I hear you have business.
We're here to negotiate for something like that.
Ah, well.
Were there places to sit down?
Yeah,
around her?
Lots of seats.
All right, then I'll sit down. Kind of like giving her some space, but next to her.
I do what Tebrin does, but like a couple seats over.
Kendra will stay standing.
Yeah, Sora kind of walks in and sits on one of the armchairs and crosses her legs and just sort of looks a little expectantly around.
Just out of interest, has Tebrin heard enough whispers to have any idea of where he is right now? Because I, the player, remember this place.
The you know sort of through whispers that the Shadow's Oath has like special hidden places throughout various organizations that are pretty well kept secrets. So you're guessing you're in some extension of that or some meeting place of it. From what you've sort of heard from rumor, their actual like guild halls are much more elaborately guarded. So you're guessing you're not actually in a guild hall. You're just in some like clandestine meeting location. Well, you have business?
Yes, we are interested in making our way to the Isle of Remnants.
Well, that's certainly not what I expected to hear.
I love to keep people on their toes.
I don't like to be on my toes. Why are you headed there?
I glance like, is Kendra actually trying to say something?
Yes, but go on.
Well, we had heard some rumors about some strange things of an arcane nature. We fancy ourselves to be adventurers of a sort. We wanted to explore those further.
Too many folks fancy themselves adventurers these days. I can get you there. There's quite a bit of arcane that has happened. I wouldn't mind traveling myself, where I have, she kind of wheezes a little bit, coughs, and then just turns and like just spits over back behind the chaise that she's sitting on, where I have more youthful vitality. Tell me more.
Well, we've done a fair bit of traveling ourselves at this point. I spent a fair amount of time in Eridor, which is where I met these two. Recently returned in one piece, which I think should give you an idea of the fact that we aren't exactly novices.
Well, you're either somewhat capable, extremely lucky, or extremely stupid, or some combination of the three.
And now in our travels within Eridor and now coming here, we've heard rumors about certain artifacts of an elemental nature.
Oh. You're after the really cool energy weapons, aren't you? Are you ever gonna make a wisdom saving throw? She like closes her eyes for a second.
This always goes very well for me. Almost an 18.
Oh no.
All of you just feel this sort of like none too subtle kind of like invasive presence in your mind. Roswell, you just sort of like immediately are like, nope. And
I've seen worse.
It's sort of like leaves you be, and pauses for a moment as if she's like reading something. You can see her eyes just kind of like going back and forth. Well, you seem to be speaking the truth.
Well, I'm glad you're satisfied. I can't say that I appreciate people rooting around in my mind.
Find it much safer that way. Put too much value in our own minds.
Well, you see, it's the only one I've got.
Well, therein lies your problem. Well, I can certainly get you anywhere you can imagine. Is it just the four of you?
It'd be either 2 or 3 more. We're still hammering out the details on that one.
I like details.
Well, if we work together, I will make sure you have them.
How long? How long do you need to go there?
Well, however long it takes, really. Hopefully not terribly long. But we don't know what we're going to find on the other side.
And these swords that you carry? You want to bring them back charged?
I glance over at Kendra and Roswell.
It's not time to be coy, children. You can speak plainly. I don't care of your quest for power, redemption, or whatever. You give me what I want, and I will help you.
And what exactly is it that you want?
I have a steeped interest in the Isles of Remnants, as they do go back quite a ways in the history of the Shadow's Oath. There's a tower there. Tower of Darashan. Darashan was a very powerful sorcerer, and I am very much a fond admirer of those who push and bend magic beyond the limits of the narrow-minded. All these people at academies. Darashan did some things many would look upon in fright and terror, but truly enlightened and inspired the wonderful woman who founded all of the Shadow's Oath to part of the greatness that she was now. Surprisingly, or I suppose unsurprisingly, given her clandestine nature, she disappeared without a trace, but as many devotees of her following and members of the Shadow's Oath here have devoted their lifetimes to helping unravel the clues of her life and seeking to follow in her footsteps. We believe her travels took her to Sparrow Isle in approximately the same time period. Don't know, how good are you on history?
Terrible. I know my limits.
I'm okay.
I'm all right.
I'm not rolling.
So,
Yeah,
Kendra,
I read about crime junkets.
Kendra, you do kind of think back. Sparrow Isle is actually what the Isle of Remnants was called before. It's sort of like an ancient name. You don't remember before what, but it was originally called the Sparrow Isles.
Well, we're going to be going there, so you help us, we help you.
Just a question. Does this involve the pushing of boundaries of magic? A lot of necromantic magic. I mean,
this is much more pure than necromancy. Necromancy is just a perversion of life and death, really.
oh, thank you.
This is
You are absolutely right.
Well, I see you're not all overly. It's understandable that you have no idea about which I speak. Most people go around without studying the past and therefore can't learn anything from it. The Shadow Arcanist, Azdalia, who created the Shadow's Oath in, her humble obsession with omnipotence, I suppose, was just driven by a relentless fascination with the boundary between the material world and the shadow realms beyond, and in such a transient state of being, a person could truly be both hidden and all-seeing if you just existed in the boundaries. And more was needed in order for this to come to pass. And so we believe that Azdalia traveled to the Sparrow Isles and sought out Darashan. Darashan has built his tower far away from others as a bit of a refuge to help him unravel the puzzle of mortal existence. And he believed that each creature's soul was made of equal parts of light and shadow, separated by only purely channeled energy, which he believed. She's adorable, isn't she?
The cat wanders out from.
Yes. And in order to separate the light and the shadow from the soul into two equally existing but separate forms of a duality, you need a tremendous amount of energy, which he reasoned, I believe correctly so, could be channeled through elemental energy. And so he sat upon his tower, toying with the forces of the storm, until it was rumored that he released a massive discharge of energy and leveled Sparrow Island completely, and creating what is now known as the Isle of Remnants. Some of the theorists believe he was successful, and the population there at the time was separated into light and shadow forms. If Asdalia is there, she would have a shadow form and a light form, and perhaps the secrets to this omnipotent persistence in the area in between realms. We know that her magic still exists and pushes the secrecy and clandestine nature of the Shadow's Oath beyond that which is capable by material means. So she must still be alive. If you could find her, communicate with her, perhaps unravel what she has learned, oh, that would be worth a tremendous amount.
Just one more question. Well, I can't promise there's going to be one more. Anyway, so there's a Shadow's Oath. Are there people seeking out the light part? Like, is there a counterpart to you?
There's far more value in shadow than there is in light.
Everybody has an opinion. That's okay.
As Dahlia believed that it was the light that prevented her from achieving her goals, so purging and removing it from her soul was perhaps the way to become that which she desired. Secrets of the Shadow are quite useful in our line of work.
Well, I mean, it seems to me that going to the Sparrow Isles and searching all of this out and finding the founder of your whole organization, that seems like a disproportionate price for transporting us there.
I believe I know where to look. If you search Darajan's tower and bring me any evidence, any accounts, any arcane musings, anything that would shed light on what happened there, and perhaps we can call it even. There has to be something.
Now that seems like a much more reasonable bite-sized piece.
And should you happen to come across the Dahlia, then maybe I would have to make a proposition to you.
How would we let you know that we're ready to come back?
I could conceivably scry to you.
I could send a message to you too.
Pick a time span in which you would complete your task. I prefer not to be messaged. I find you'll be rather disappointed if you try. I've removed my connection from all that sort of thing years ago. It's terribly tiring to be on call. But your work has me intrigued. So, time window, I pull you out at a certain amount of time. I find that's terribly motivating, as one can't sit around all day hoping for adventures in far-off lands to do something of relevance.
Well, I mean, right.
And what does the oath know of the Recul? What do you make of all of this? And I gesture down.
Oh, the Recul have existed before the oath, but not that much. There was no real overlap. They understood the power of the arcane and how to harness elemental energies, bend them to their own will. They were too short-sighted to see their shortcomings against the very base martial advances of the Dakoran army, and sort of paid price of that hubris with their annihilation. But luckily for us, they left enough behind for us to learn from their past.
And of what the Empire is doing with their remnants now.
What the Empire isn't doing from it is learning.
That was the impression that I got.
That makes them of no threat or consequence. Should you go down and accomplish whatever it is you're trying to do with this, it is inevitable sooner or later someone would do it. Why not you or anyone else? I don't care. It's inevitable.
So you have no interest in it yourself? The oath is not stretching out towards...
If the oath truly wanted to destabilize society, it would be a form of suicide itself. Rigid structure and law is what balances our existence. The light to our darkness. Two sides of the same soul.
Just so.
It would be terribly fun to watch it all burn, but terribly tiresome as well. It wouldn't be what Asdalia wanted. So, do we have an accord?
Glancing over at Kendrick as well.
I'm perfectly fine with this.
That's reassuring.
Thoughts?
Do we make this decision for the party right now? I almost worry about...
I believe this is partially a question for Is our host willing to give us an hour or two to speak with the missing members of our party?
Don't like to be kept waiting. Send them a message. You said this was in your capability. It's time
Sure is.
to
How to
perhaps start using your capabilities instead of wandering around aimlessly through life.
How do we condense this into 25 words?
I could probably do it twice. Maybe.
I mean, I can cast it too.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah.
Please start.
I can cast it as well, actually.
What the fuck? Look at you. Since when?
They can get us there. Need to help them in return. They don't care about the swords.
You're muted.
Who are you saying this to?
You can send it to one person.
Yep.
Nemarius.
Who is they, and why do they know about our swords already?
Shadow's Oath. They're not dumb.
But they have such a dumb name.
This is
Can't argue with that.
of arcane energy.
How many times are you casting this?
Rapid fire.
Okay.
How many
question
times
is-
can you
The
cast?
question is, what is the task required?
What do we
It
have?
was really long and convoluted.
Wait a minute,
Not-
Are you casting sending or message?
Message.
Message is limited in range.
Yeah.
How far
I,
away is Nemarius?
I'm
how
just
far-
outside the
What's
door.
the range?
I don't know.
I think the range is only 120 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
He doesn't know any of this. I was just
I
talking
take
about
back my entire conversation as I was
Okay.
like, they're probably up to something.
I will cast sending to Nemarius.
Oh,
Um,
Akira, I have a message incoming.
Shadow,
You've got mail.
Shadow's Oath willing to send us to the Isle. In return, want information about ancient magic from the island.
That doesn't seem unreasonable. However, what is the transportation method of their choice, comma? I'd hate to be on a ship when we could do that on our own. That's 22.
Turning back towards. I presume that we are speaking of an arcane means of transport. You're not just going to put us on a boat.
Yes.
Excellent.
Like, yeah, here's a cart. Go on the cart for a month and get on the boat.
This is an arcane map to where you're going.
Here is an arcane backpack.
I can conjure you wherever you desire.
Can I?
I should have asked if Kindred made the deal. Oh,
I just want to insight check her. I wanted to see if what she's been telling us has been exactly what she means.
Akira, the others are about to broker a deal.
Of course they are.
That being said, it doesn't seem like it's anything illegal this time, so that's a good thing.
We'll see about that.
Insight check, Cookie.
Everything in life we will. As of everything else in life, we will see. Maybe Kendra's finally
Hard.
turning over that new leaf.
Hard to get a read on her.
We'll see about that.
I also roll an insight on her
Yeah.
just to get a general feel for her.
Roll to vibe.
I would like to roll to
We're
vibe.
just gonna scratch
Oh,
out
I
your
almost have
character
that
sheet
macro
with
ready
this
for you.
vibe, Yeah. Yeah. Roswell. She seems very sort of factual in her nature. Like, the only time that she gets sort of any kind of personal or emotional involvement in sort of her inflection and such is when she's talking about Asdalia and sort of like the legacy behind all of that. So, can't tell if it's really truthful or not, but that seems to be her main interest or motivation.
Yeah. So just So what is Odstalia? What does she look like?
No one knows.
What did she look like before she left? Does no one know that either?
Therein lies the beauty. One is that should be truly erased and secretive, then you must never have any lingering memory of them. Each encounter ephemeral.
Is there, if we were to come across someone who we thought was her, but we weren't sure, are there words we could say to her that she would understand our mission? Like, is there like a secret handshake? Like Tebrin, like people do like secret thieves handshakes, right? Like, or like codes. Like a, do you have a symbol or something?
You are not members of the guild, so
Well, I don't need to, yeah.
no symbol will you have. She sort of like holds up the inside of her wrist, and you just see like this sort of circle with a bunch of lines through it, and geometric design just glows red for a moment, and then it fades back in.
I study it very intensely with the intent of perhaps embroidering it later on a piece of cloth.
It was like instantaneous, so make an intelligence check to see how much you get. It was like, and then
Sure.
it back out.
I gotta try. Oh.
All right, you kind of remember the sort of general shape of it.
Okay.
A little too much. It had a lot of detail in it.
You can make her mittens now.
Mm-hmm.
I am sorry, I was rolling insight. I was particularly curious about the whole conversation around the real Rakul, just to like try to figure out if she's someone we need to worry about.
You get the sense that if she wanted something, she would go after it and take it. She seemed to be viewing all of that as something of not of particular consequence to her. If that were to change for some reason, you should be very worried about her.
Okay. And did we get a solid answer back from Nemarius? I can't remember anymore.
We had the conversation. What do you mean? Do I get to say it again?
I honestly, like, player, I can't remember whether you said you gave us the go ahead or not. You and Akira.
My question at the end of that spell was what the transportation method was.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't give you a go ahead, but I did say that that's better than it was going to be expected. Like at least it's not like something underhanded this time.
Okay. Then I will message or sending again. Yes, she will drop us where we need to go. Do we have you and Akira's accord on this?
As long as our actions do not betray our souls, we can certainly be on board with this.
Tebrit is making this face. I think we're
in
good.
Heronius' name. Thank you for this. I'll see you in Sunday school.
I believe that we have come to an agreement. Then.
Well,
I cannot hear you.
That's because I'm not speaking yet, child.
Okay.
If we are in accord, then we shall strike the agreement. And she sort of reaches down through like the folds of her cloak and pulls out a small dagger, and she like slices her across her hand, and then she She takes it and extends out.
I take
towards
it and
you.
do immediately the same thing.
All right.
But that's not sanitary.
As she goes
Nothing
to
about this is
shake,
sanitary.
you can see that from her hand, it's not bleeding; it's just pouring out smoke. And then
Ha.
she shakes it, or what
Unsettling.
looks like smoke. It doesn't smell like smoke. It doesn't smell like anything.
I give her a firm handshake regardless.
Yeah, and you can feel like this, like you can feel some of it just like seep into you, and for like a second, you can just see like a little like darkening cloud on your wrist. Deal is made. When are you leaving, and when do you need to come back?
We've squared everything away here, haven't we?
Holly, message Holly.
Just, we probably just need to pick up a few provisions, but we could do that in probably an hour or two.
What time is it right now, by the way? Is it like morning?
It's like mid-morning.
I can't hear you.
Mid-morning.
Mid-morning. Perhaps tomorrow morning? That seems like it should give us the time. We should check with the others.
Well,
I need some sort of feedback.
take whatever time you think you need. But I have better things to do than to wait around for your schedule.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
Do we have a sense of are time zones a thing here? I mean, I'm genuinely wondering because we are traveling quite a distance. If we leave now, are we going to be? If we left now, would it be night?
There are 2 seasons when you travel that far north, day and night. It is now night.
I might like to arrive during the day.
Yeah.
Then many months will need to pass.
Oh, see, okay. So it's night all the time.
Half the time.
Within the time period we will be there, it most likely will only be night.
A very astute observation.
So I guess it doesn't matter when we leave then, really.
Shall you
As
leave
long as-
now?
Well, I mean, yes. Oh my God. Can you stop being so literal? So,
As you can see, we have no sense of self-preservation. I'm gonna cast another message. Or sending. This is my last one. I'm just he wouldn't have any reason to do anybody other than Nemarius, so he's just gonna do Nemarius again and say, we're telling her tomorrow morning unless you tell me otherwise.
I can be ready this afternoon. However, tomorrow morning suits my purposes. Akira, is tomorrow okay?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Akira agrees.
All right, then tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow at dawn,
8 a.m.
you shall awaken on the Isle of Remnants.
Oh, just like that then.
Just like that. And how long before you need to return?
do we want to say 3 weeks?
We're gonna do a topographical map of the whole island. So we'll need to.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take. Would you rather? I mean, Namaris, you're not here.
I know. That's why I was just being joking.
I know.
Here, I'll mute while I joke. There we go.
I mean, 1 week seems pretty short. 2 weeks? We've never been there.
I have complete faith in our ability to argue for 1.5 weeks and then complete it with 3 days remaining. When we set our minds to things, we are
Modus operandi.
incredibly above mediocre. We're above, yes.
Hopefully this time we won't get walked into an ambush.
Well, maybe this time you'll have your eyes open a little more.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Dawn in 2 weeks. Best of luck.
Thank you. I will stand and give her a bow.
She sort of stands, snaps her fingers, and you all find yourself standing in the center of the main plaza, sort of amidst the people coming and going. Nobody seems to notice, as you can just see a little like cloud of shadow kind of dissipate for a second around you in a swirl. And the city of Chora just continues going about its business as you sort of look around and see the familiar landmarks.
Fascinating.
Oh, that was weird.
And that is where we will end for tonight.
Working with her must be an experience.